Oh, say, can you see?
Oh, God.
By the
This might be the worst time. That
Wow.
fucking song.
We want nothing to do with that right now. We're trying to have a good day, Tim.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the No Chaser Podcast. I'm Tim Chantarangsu.
I'm Ricky Shots.
I'm Nikki Blaze.
What's good? And you got the camo on.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm very patriotic
Let's
today.
go. Ah, man. You know, hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to America, baby.
Oh. Oh.
Well, you know, hey, enough about that. Would you like a shot at something, Nikki Blaze?
Oh, yes.
It's only 10:40 in the morning.
What? I loved how Tim decided to throw in the group chat. You know, we have a list of things for today, asking what do we need, Rick? What does Rick need? Nikki, what do you need? And he was like, I don't know if you want to be drinking whiskey at 10:30 in the morning. And I said, I'll take an Irish coffee, please.
And I was like, well, we sipping tomorrow. She was like, I like whiskey. It's been the vibe. I'm like, okay, whiskey Nikki has been awoken.
Yeah.
Has been awakened.
She's a thing.
And she's not mad.
Yeah.
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Out of all of my liquors now, whiskey seems to be fitting.
Liquor, I barely
So-
know her.
Still down, though. But I ain't gonna kiss her. So is that like harder or stronger? Because when y'all did the tequila, y'all would like finish the bottle and shit. But this has been the same bottle for a long time.
It's definitely, well, I've also been kind of rotating bottles. Here, this is a little tiny bit left in
Okay,
here.
I'll take it.
It is a little more, you know when they say, you see in the movies like, put some hair on your chest.
Oh, yeah.
This shit'll kind of, yeah.
I feel like whiskey you sip.
Okay.
You sip whiskey and it's like intentional. There's something about drinking whiskey that makes you a little bit more mellow versus tequila. We turning up.
Yeah.
I feel like whiskey Nikki turns up a little
Whiskey-
more.
I think-
Tequila Nikki.
I think whiskey Nikki just does not care.
Yeah.
Don't care. I don't give a fuck.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, that's why I like it. That was something new. I was like, okay, this feels like I can sip it and I'm not in a rush to try to down it, but I feel loose. Like, I don't care what anybody has to say right now.
Yeah, you know what? It
I like
is
that.
kind of, because you sip it and it isn't intentional, I'm going to sip this. I'm
Yeah.
not interested in really like, I'm going to I'm not going to fucking turn the fuck up on some whiskey.
Yeah.
It does kind of change the kind of drunk atmosphere. You feel me?
Interesting.
I feel like you pace it, that's why.
Yeah.
So imagine like you're taking shots and you kind of don't know when it's gonna hit you. That's the thing. Like you can take 2-3 shots. Next
Yeah.
thing you know, 20 minutes in, you're drunk. Versus
yeah.
I'm gonna sip my 2 to 3 shots.
And do you gain that knowledge from the taste or experience?
Experience.
Okay.
Because they both taste like shit.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's also one of those, where over time you're like, I think I like this now.
Yeah. and I like
Well, I mean, like, do you know, like, as soon as you taste it, like, oh, okay, let me take this slow.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the whiskey, I feel like, even though tequila, yeah, same, you will have like a at first, when you're, taking shots of shit. The whiskey is one of those things where, where they'll say you feel the kind of burn, it warms you up.
Mhm.
That's how you kind of feel with the whiskey.
Mhm.
So it's more of like a, all right,
Yeah.
settle into this.
And I
you know?
do think each liquor has its own.
Horniness.
There's
Personality.
It has its own personality and yes,
Horny.
horniness. Because whiskey, I'd be like, I don't know exactly what I'm feeling, but it's
something.
But it's something. Tequila make me like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Have I ever asked you this, Nikki Blades?
What?
What is there a specific alcohol you avoid because of what it does to you?
I don't do Hennessy.
You don't do Hennessy.
Nah.
Interesting.
I had
Does it make you want to fight?
Mm-hmm.
I had Henny days. But I do like. I like
cheers.
it. Oh yeah, cheers.
Mm-hmm.
But I avoid it. There's no need for it because any function I'm at and there's Hennessy being served is normally a function I need to be.
Leave early.
Yeah. Enjoy it, have the cocktail, and then get out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to, and I've mentioned this before on somewhere on camera. I stopped drinking gin. Because, have I told you this story, Nikki Blades?
I don't know. Gin is terrible.
Well, okay. So yeah, gin is not my favorite taste wise, but I was always one of those, all right, whatever, what y'all got around, fine, I'll sip it, right? What I've learned now through two very specific instances is that when I get turned off gin, I start to spit at
Oh,
people.
yes, you're the
Yeah.
llama.
I'm the llama. Yeah, I
You're
get
the
real
llama.
Mr. Llama. Yeah. So even the other day, I was at some event filming some shit with David, and it was okay. We have a gin. I was like, no, thank
Yeah.
you. Give me whatever the fuck else you got, because I'm not gonna risk it.
I feel
Just
like
looking silly out here, sillier.
They
feel
have
like-
gin and extra dry gin.
I feel
All
like
right.
gin tastes like perfume. That's what I think.
Flowery.
Yeah, very floral.
Nikki Blades, we gotta bring you some Malort.
What?
Straight from the fucking toilets of Chicago. It is
Yeah.
disgusting.
Okay.
Toilets of Chicago.
Let me-
Wow,
let me
you're
tell you.
really selling it to me right now.
I'll tell you how. This is how gross Malort is. All right.
Malort.
I was
Ew.
filming with David in Chicago for a Taste of Chicago, and I was like, someone was like, it was on a list. I was like, what's Malort? And immediately Chicagoans do this. You want to try it?
Anytime someone gets too excited about something, you got to be.
Oh no, you should try it.
Yeah.
No, you should try it. And I'm like, yeah, all right. And it is, man, look, it is. I describe it like this. I feel like it is how it would taste if you ate a dandelion, but mixed with like a battery.
Oh.
It's like
Oh.
it's medicinal and also, but like not in a good way. It's
Okay.
like, oh man, it's the worst.
Okay, have you had Fernet though?
That girl from I don't know.
So that's a no.
Nah.
Fernet is they say it's like a San Francisco thing, but it tastes very medicinal.
Okay, word.
So I was just kind of trying to go with that
all right, I'm
comparison.
gonna bring you some fucking Malort.
I guess so.
Yeah. No, you got to do it because it's I'm one of I'm one of them now.
Frenata or whatever.
I'll bring Fernet.
Yeah.
I'll bring Fernet, and then you bring Malort.
Yeah, because let me tell you, I'm one of those people now. Oh, you want to try some Malort? You got to do it at least once. And now people are constantly sending me. Because there's whole fucking
It's like
accounts dedicated to, all right, here's what I'm going to try today. See if this Malort can be good.
Oh, that sounds like a terrible.
Some guy actually, he did the things that, you
frothed it?
Yeah, he frothed it. He was like, not bad, better.
Aerate it.
Aerate a little bit. Yeah, a little oxidization.
Oxygenate.
But yeah, it's disgusting. And shout out to Chicago. Well, Nikki Blades, how are you, man? How are you? Yeah,
We're here. We're doing.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
Me too. I'm glad I'm here too.
Yeah. Because at first I was like, Nikki Blades, are you trying to pull up? I perfectly understand if you don't want to, but like I'm glad you can make it. It's always lovely to see your face. I'm glad you're you're here, man.
Yeah, the day that we shot the Halloween episode, we went and we ate after. And I told the guys, because Dad was just doing really bad at that point.
Yeah.
And I told the guys, I said, no matter what happens, you guys have to invite me back to the podcast. Like, don't leave it on me. Don't wait for me to hit you up.
Well,
like,
I must not have been listening. I was like, it's on you.
Yeah. Go finish.
But I was saying, I was like, no matter what, just invite me out. Whether I come or I don't, just invite me and then we'll play it by ear.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, but before we had the chance to, you kind of were like, I don't know. So I think we just got like,
Yeah.
But then I think you remembered.
Yeah.
Because you did.
Well, yeah. Because first of all, I know Nikki Blades. And you got to put the invite out or she's going to be like, what the fuck? Yeah. Even if she didn't want to.
Exactly. Still supposed to do it anyway.
And I get it.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing too, like for me, we talked about this in the car a little bit. Like I don't really know how to deal with something like that because I've never dealt with like a big loss like that in my life ever. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I don't even really know how to offer help to somebody. Like, yeah, I'll throw the if you need someone to talk to, I'm here type shit. But like I was telling you, I feel like even if let's say like one of my big four squad of homies, like you or P Flo or Eric, lost someone super close to them like that, and they did hit me up to be like, yo, I need someone to talk to. I don't know if I know the right thing to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And there isn't really a right thing to say.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you just kind of got to listen.
Yeah. I have been receiving so many messages, right? And I did open up. I would say the day that Dad ended up passing, thankfully we all were with him. So that part, I believe, is what has allowed me to be pretty chill, right? I haven't had a manic moment. I really haven't been feeling too high or too low. It's just kind of like we're pretty, I'm here. But when I decided to say something, and that took a lot for me. Like, I did not want to. My mom and I were talking about it, and her and I kind of reacted the same way. My sister was able to start sharing photos, and she was already able to talk about it publicly. And for me, it did not feel right. There was something so almost like I didn't want to exploit it. I didn't want to come off like I'm trying to gain something from losing my dad. And trying to find the right words at that time, I just couldn't. But I did know that since I invited everybody into my life, the ups and the downs, that this was something I was going to share eventually.
For sure.
So when I decided to make the announcement, what I wrote was exactly how I felt. I was like, I do not know what to say. I am heartbroken. This is what it is. And for some, the photo was a very intimate photo, but my sister took that. And I got it approved by her because I was really like, at this point, her opinion was the one that mattered the most to me. So she was like, yeah, I think that's exactly the best way to show what it is that you're going through, and very genuinely and honestly. And then all the messages started coming in. And thank you. Literally every single one of those messages, even though I saw the same thing over and over, still meant something to me.
Of course, yeah.
Right? It still meant a lot. And the main thing is you can tell who has dealt with loss and who hasn't. And those that have dealt with loss tend to lead with whatever you're feeling is okay. I've been through this. If you want me to listen to you, then I am here. Then you have the other ones that are just a little bit like, hey, I don't know what to say. Do what you got to do, and we're here to support you. Then you got the other people that are like, keep your head up. Don't stop living life. And then they get all preachy on you, and they're just like, I don't know what you're feeling, but I'm going to tell you exactly what you should do.
Yeah, I feel like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, keep your head up. But I feel like
that's the word.
I know, because I think I know enough depressed in real life people to know that they don't like that.
No.
It's like, how?
Head in the picture is not even up. I can't keep it up in the photo. I'm not keeping it up anywhere else.
Like, my posture's been bad.
Bad. My neck hurts. It's down.
I ain't never seen the sky, nigga.
But those are, everybody's so different, and it's been okay. Just the fact that people have reached out, that's kind of all you need.
Yeah.
And you have some friends that have dealt with it, and they're like, they'll lead with their story, and it does help. I'll say that's one thing that has helped for me, because those are the people that I decided to reach out to.
Word.
I'm not necessarily speaking to anybody that hasn't dealt with a big loss, because I don't want to put it on you or have an expectation from you to try to empathize with what I'm going through, because that's almost unfair to you.
Right.
In a sense, like if I'm trying to talk to you, you don't understand, and what am I going to do? Get frustrated? So I've reached out to those that have gone through situations, but I just asked them like, hey, what was the first week like, if you don't mind me asking? And just kind of trying to see what other people were going through to kind of like gauge where I was at. Because that probably feels like that's the hardest part, is I'm not sure. This is my first big loss. I lost my grandpa, but that was different.
Yeah, of course.
My dad was my person. So I just was like, what am I supposed to feel? And I know there isn't anything necessarily you're supposed to, but I think that when you hear other people and they share their stories, it makes you go, okay, I think I'm doing okay today.
I mean, I guess that's all you can really do, right? Is just deal with it how you want to deal with it.
Or how it comes naturally.
Yeah.
That feels, though, like a setup. if I'm just being completely honest.
How so?
I have people that say, like, however you decide to react, it's totally fine. And everybody grieves differently. But I've also sat next to people that have talked so much shit about others that have lost someone. And I hate the fact that I don't even care. Fuck this person. My old coworker, I remember somebody that we all knew had lost their brother. And they would talk about it, right? Like it kind of became their identity, but they were mourning so hard. And I remember him specifically saying, I hate when people share tragedies online. I hate when people do X, Y, and Z. And continuously bashed on this person for the way that they were expressing themselves through this pain.
Mhm.
So in my mind, there's always that voice of be mindful of who you're deciding to share things with,
Yeah.
because not everybody actually wants to see you do well.
Mhm.
Not everybody actually cares about how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are willing to share it, be willing to understand that there are going to be support and there are going to be people that think exactly like that person does.
Right.
So I've been way more mindful of my public grieving.
Yeah, it's tough when you're a social media person, especially because you feel like, do I owe it to the people that support me and like are invested in this to tell them what's going on?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Especially after I told them so much about
yeah,
the topic.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly, right. And even even like on small scale stuff, like I'd be like, after sharing so much about the kids, I'd be like, oh, do I want to do my daughter's first day at school shit? And then I was kind of talking to her. I was like, do we want to do this? She was like, maybe not. I was like, yeah, maybe not. I don't know these motherfuckers anything.
Mhm.
But there's that party that's like, they should know, they care. I should let them know. You know what I'm saying? I don't even really know how I would begin to deal with some loss like that, because y'all know I'm like only child, right? So I feel like I've really my whole life I've kind of processed anything just internally to myself, and not that like I don't feel like I have any type of like pent up. I don't even like I'm not even feel like I need like one big cry or some shit. Like I don't feel like I have any repressed anything. Maybe I do. Oh my god, it's all coming out. But I just don't even know how I would begin to deal with that. Like I almost feel like I would be getting so many texts that I would almost be like, ugh, leave me alone,
I just handed Rick my phone and I told him, please put it face down on the couch, because there is a lot, and it's just because people care.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel.
Mhm.
And there is a time where, look, last night, for example, I was flying in and I was okay. This is my first big kind of thing since Dad passed.
Mhm.
And before I would get on my flight, no matter where I was going, I have a group chat with my mom and dad, and I always let them know that I'm on a plane.
Mhm.
Like, that's what we've always done, just in case of anything. And so as I was getting ready to do that, I realized that that message isn't going to be sent anymore.
Mm.
So then I was like, oh,
Mhm.
I started feeling things. I was like, I consider it feeling like I'm going to sneeze.
Mhm.
When I feel like I'm going to cry, I feel as though it's like I'm trying to stop a sneeze and I can control it. I couldn't control it yesterday. It was one of those that since he passed, I was like, oh, wow, it felt like I needed to. And
Mhm.
then I got picked up in the car. And so I started going through photos. And mind you, it's been about a week. This will probably be 2 weeks when this airs.
Mm.
And I couldn't really look through photos.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It just wasn't, I wasn't there. I could look at when we were in the hospital. Mind you, Dad was in the hospital a month.
Mhm.
And Dad was going through it. It's bad. One day I'll talk about that too, because I think that some people that understand when you deal with family members that are sick like that. But the person that passed was not the person in the photos that I was posting.
Mm.
There are two different versions of my dad. I have
Mhm.
the man that I held his hand while he passed.
Mhm.
And I finally saw him sleep.
Mm.
I saw him look at peace. He was
Mhm.
done suffering, because the
Mm.
last week was so rough
Mhm.
that this felt like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
then I looked at old photos and I would get upset. A little bit angry, because I was dealing with two different people and I had not seen that version of my dad in so long
Mm.
that I wasn't really ready to face that.
Mhm.
So then yesterday I was scrolling through and it was the first time that I was like, okay, Dad, I see you. Like,
Mhm.
I was excited to look at those photos and scroll through. And thankfully there's things like Facebook. And my dad was always active on social.
Mhm.
So I was able to scroll through his Facebook and look at photos of us and throughout the years. And I was like, okay, yes, I'm crying, but it wasn't that like my heart is out of my chest type of cry. It was
Mhm.
like, yes, I'm sad. Yes, I'm dealing with my feelings. But I definitely I was like, okay, I can manage this.
Yeah, man, that's dope. That you can you're more so crying because of like the amazing time you had while he was here,
Yeah.
as opposed to the loss. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The term emotions come in waves
Mhm.
is one of the most consistent things I have heard throughout this process. And that is 1000% the truth, because I will, for the most part, be chilling and then I'll feel something and I'll get angry. or I'll get a little sad.
Mhm.
And then it's like, okay, cool. If I'm not feeling anything deep or big, like if I'm not feeling big feelings, then I'm like, okay, cool. I will take this for now.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be surprised if I get hit randomly by like a wave of emotions where I'm like, damn, I was eating ramen and I almost cried because I saw a damn Pikachu.
Yeah.
Pikachu came out. An inflatable Pikachu came out. And all of a sudden I was like, am I about to cry?
She told me the story in the car. I was like, wait, why?
And it was just because there's a combination of things that just happen. You're like, oh, my dog's name was Pikachu and dad loved anime. And then just all of a sudden you get hit with a memory. And I was like, and the person I was with was like looking away. I'm like, yeah, just ignore it. Just don't look at me and I won't look at you.
Yeah. See, and that's the type of stuff that I consider when something like this happens. Because for me, don't fucking talk to me about it. I'm dealing with it. Everything is reminding me of it. I don't want extra reminder. So that's why I don't share anything online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that. So I'm like, damn, I don't want to not say something. I give a fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be the what if right now
They're chilling.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I text. So it's like, shit, yeah. So.
And they're like, Rick has gray hairs in his beard like my dad. No, you know what you just made me think? I was thinking, because, my dad used to love, like, we watched Married with Children together all the time, right? So I just had this thought where, like, let's say, my dad just passed or something like that, and I see a blonde girl with some titties, and I'm like,
oh my God.
Dad!
Oh my God.
Dad! We used to watch Married with Children. And I'm just crying at the strip club.
Oh,
Just crying.
God.
Oh, at the strip club. Now you're at the strip club.
Yeah, of course. Hello.
Where else I'm gonna see a blonde with me? Ridiculous.
It is interesting who hits you up though. Like, there's definitely been
Future
names.
texted you.
What?
Future says.
I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want nothing to know. I'm ignoring that message. But I mean, like, who you see reach out and how much it affects other people. I think that's probably more like, whoa, like other people's big feelings towards my dad. That made me kind of go, why are you crying so much?
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but then would be the only thing that makes me feel a little bit of a way. But I'm like, wow, if anybody, can make an impact on somebody else. And the fact that I spoke so much of my dad. And I'm so glad that I did that while he was here. Like, I don't ever have to worry if my dad loved me. And I don't ever have to worry about, did I show my dad enough? Did I do enough? The answer is, I did a lot.
Yeah.
And then he goes and takes my dog. My dad, what?
Bro.
My dad took my dog. My dog died the same day as my dad.
So that was like the family dog?
It was so she, her name was Kala, and she was 9, but it wasn't her time yet. She ended up passing of a stroke, but she was my first kind of like dog that I brought around the family. Yeah.
I saw that shit on your story. I was like, what?
Yes.
Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah. So all I could do, like, really laugh. I'm still in shock. And how I see it is that my dad went up there and he was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I just need one more thing from Nicole.
Zap.
And I was like, and nobody told me day of, right? I didn't hear about it till the next day because they were like, there's no way she lost her dad and her dog in the same day. But yeah, I was like, damn, Dad.
But it is cute to imagine him
He took her
in heaven. No.
I said,
She joined,
damn it, Dad, no. Dad said, look, I choose you. And decided to throw his damn Pokeball down to take my dog up there with him.
Pokemon reference.
He took my but that's all you can do. Like, really, I understand why people say you have to laugh through your damn pain. Because what else am I supposed to do? My dad and my dog the same damn day. Yeah. And there's no other way to explain it, right? Like, as we were talking about, I don't know who I'm looking up to and I'm talking to or what you guys are doing up there, but shit, like the sign is very obvious. I don't know what else you want from me.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, I feel like my dad has been prepping me for his death ever since I was a little kid. Because he always loved joking about it. You know what I'm saying? Loves joking. He still loves joking about it ever since I was a little kid. Like, he would always make jokes about it. And he would always tell me, hey, one day I'm not going to be here, blah, blah, blah. And he would always say, when I die, I want you to stuff me and stand me up in front of your doorway in a high five position so you can always high five me when you come through the door. And it's like, and because of that, I love conversations and dark jokes about death and shit. A lot of people get a little uncomfortable, but I mean, my dad set me up, man, and he was all, this is probably where I get it from, bro, because Rick, you've known me for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that I joke at inappropriate times?
Would I say that?
I'm pretty sure everybody watching right now knows that.
You know it, right?
But we're talking about my dad, and your dad dying.
Yes.
So,
yes.
It's my dad's fault, dog. He's been doing that shit since I was a little kid. He was always the one at the funeral, to be like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you're welcome, guys. Thank you, Dad, and you're welcome, everyone else.
Oh, man. Can we just talk about how much needs to be done after someone passes? Oh, wow. Out of everything, I don't feel like anybody fully can ever mourn the loss of a loved one until all of that is what? I mean, just the fact of, I'm telling you, I'm making phone calls I don't want to make. At one point, I said, my sister, you need to do this. I can't do this. I'm listening to grown men cry. I'm calling and I'm talking. I'm doing all these things. I was like, I can't handle it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then still knowing a celebration of life. I was like, what the fuck is a celebration of life?
Yeah.
I was like, what do we do? Who do we invite? How does this work? And this process is a process.
Yeah.
And there's so much. I do know exactly what my mom has to do because they give you a list.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people that are like, look, here's all the things that you gotta go through. But I don't fully think I'll be the sigh of relief will be done until we have reached that final point.
Yeah. I mean, it's expensive too, yeah?
Yes, guys, it is expensive. And I understand why the people do the GoFundMes now. I get it. Granted, I'm in a fortunate position to be able to even help where I'm at. But realistically, we're talking about thousands and thousands. And that's, thank God Dad wanted to be cremated. Sorry.
Right.
Dad did not want to be buried because that damn casket was going to be big. That casket was about to be big and expensive. He knew that. So thank you, Dad. But it's just you have to sit and really start processing the price of all of this. I mean, even going back and forth. So Dad has been sick. Dad got diagnosed with his heart condition at 35. So I've been dealing with my dad in and out of the hospital since I was 15.
Oh, shit.
And this last stint in the hospital was a month. And because it was so bad, we were there almost every day. Now you have to factor in the cost of driving and food and stay. There's just so many things that pile up. Yeah. And then it's immediate. Someone passes, boom, you have X, Y, and Z you need to do. Ooh. And X, Y, and Z all cost money. Right. Yeah. And you have to pay then. Then you figure out how to get your money back or gracefully enough people donate. But that's why people set up GoFundMes. Yeah. It's really because the average funeral is about $20,000 and up.
That's actually crazy.
It's so fucking crazy. It's crazy that people profit off of that.
It's one of the only businesses that will always exist.
Yeah. Why is this casket $7,000? You know what I'm saying?
Leather interior.
Yeah, they say they sell them shits like cars.
Sway.
Your family member is gonna be buried in the best.
You can get a bump. You can get there's so much going into the mortuary. I was like, wow, they got a lot of extras, a lot of just doodad, shiny things.
We put HD screens.
Man, all that type of shit. Going to that shit's like going to a fucking paint shop.
Yes.
They got all the fucking colors and shit
Yeah.
to pick from. That's how they got
That's crazy.
fucking casket samples.
And they have them like stacked on top of each other, so you can like pick your model that you want,
Your model.
or all the urns. Like there's so much. But yeah, we were sitting there, and thankfully my family has a sense of humor. Like
Yeah.
it's definitely everybody is laughing
Mm-hmm.
at Dad's expense. We love you, Dad, but you left us with so much to laugh.
He's laughing too.
You better be.
Yeah.
Shit, we're not down here for nothing. We are gonna laugh, but we're all in the room and we're just looking at some of the stuff, and you'll catch like, of course, you have your somber moments and
Mhm.
processing. We definitely learned a lot about our family while filling out the death certificate. Like, clearly didn't know my grandma's real name. Also, surprise. So my dad's name is Edward Wayne Moore III,
Uh-huh.
aka Woody.
Okay.
Now my grandpa's name is Edward Wayne Moore.
Okay.
So who's the second?
There wasn't a damn second.
Whoa, hilarious.
There's no second.
Well-
They just made my dad the third.
That is hilarious. But I also get it because the third sounds cooler.
Is it
But there is
Castanet like that?
Is that allowed?
You
can do whatever you want.
can name your kid whatever you want.
What? Okay, Veda the third.
Third of her name.
We're like learning things.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then imagine you're sitting at a table. It's my mom, me, my sister, and my brother, and every single one of us have different last names. So we're just going through and laughing. One, we didn't know my grandma's real name. We found out my dad should have been a junior, but is technically a third. That's weird.
That's hilarious.
We just have, there's just so much you learn about someone.
They sitting around the table. All right, Nikki Blades. What's your sister's name?
Kristen.
Kristen Knives. Everybody's named after different coloring. Like, wait, we never had our real last names.
Johnny Spoon, sit down.
Johnny Spoon. What's the real last name? Smith. Oh, well, shit. Okay, I get it. That's crazy.
Yeah. It really is fun.
Johnny Spoons.
Oh, but if you don't sit and laugh in these moments, you're like, damn, this is expensive and sad. Like, I can't cry and be broke at the same time. At least I can laugh.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, all you can do sometimes is laugh, right?
Yeah. That is I would say one of the best takeaways with my family. And I'm super proud of how everybody's been managing.
Yeah.
And it's everybody loses people in different ways. So I would assume that the way someone mourns definitely will reflect on the way somebody passes. That I know that if I wasn't there, oh, hell no. Because your mind just plays tricks on you. You just start running these scenarios through your brain, and this is the what ifs.
Oh, like my last words.
Oh
Yeah.
my, yeah. And that is the stuff that really hurts. And I believe that's part of the grieving and mourning process that a lot of people have to go through because they aren't as, I guess, fortunate enough to be able to sit with somebody as they pass. I was sleeping next to Dad, holding his hand as he took his last breath. My sister woke us up. So it's like I have a bit of peace.
For sure.
Yeah.
But if I was here,
Oh,
and they can, whoa, hell no. Oh
man.
my God.
Yeah. Being able to make peace with the situation before it happens definitely has to help.
Mhm.
Yeah. I would have
When you weren't ready.
Oh,
Yeah.
For sure. I would have ended up like if I wasn't around, I probably would have had to contact like a medium or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, can you just tell me that my dad is cool?
Yeah.
But I mean, also like I know my dad, and my mom probably would have been a little petty about it. I definitely would have had to talk to a medium and be like, can you just tell my mama I'm sorry I was in Barbados?
on vacation.
They're like, okay, so I did connect with her.
But
She didn't want to say anything to you.
Yo, and I would be like, good old mom, you are a real medium because that is my mom.
Yeah.
My mom, if my mom died and was mad at me, she probably would have left me on red for like 6 years.
yeah.
She mumbled something and walked away.
And I don't think I should tell you. It's not good.
The Ouija board says, put more salt in the soup. The soup is bland.
It says, okay,
Oh my God.
Period.
Period. Ah. Oh man. Yeah, yes, mom. But yeah, no, that's great. That's great that you were able to like really have a like a whole peaceful, well-rounded situation. Yeah.
Yeah, and that I'll save that for a different day to talk about. Like it was a lot. Like the last week, my heart goes out to anybody that's dealt with family members of like that deal with long-term illnesses. Shit, my dad has been preparing me for him to die my whole life. It's the same. It's the same thing. He would always say, "You never leave the house without saying goodbye, and I love you." But my dad would straight up say, "Because if I die while you're gone, you're gonna live with the fact that you never told me that."
I say that shit to my mom too when she's being annoying.
If I die, so that's
really the last thing you want to say to me. Okay,
what?
Kind of manipulative. I know that.
Kinda super manipulative.
But when women are being petty, you have to remind them.
Manipulative in the name of love.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Because when my mom would be being annoying and when I'd be like, all right, I love you, she wouldn't say shit back. I'd be like, really, mom? What if I walked outside and got hit by a car right now and the last memory of me that you have is you being petty right now?
She wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Stand on business. She would stand on it. I believe it. Moms are different.
You want some more whiskey?
True.
We don't have any.
We do. We have another bottle.
Oh, hey.
Another whiskey.
Oh, yeah. But moms are different.
Yeah.
And everybody, let me tell you, out of all of our family members, we are all dealing with it differently. I love that my sister is a planner. My sister has taken over. She is planning everything. And I'm over here like, thanks, sis. Da-da-da-da-da. She's like, yeah, because you get stressed out so easily.
Yeah.
Shit. I was like, yes. And then mom's kind of angry. Mom is kind of, that one is tough.
Yeah.
But it's expected, right? Because I'm probably going to be mad at some point.
Yeah, you know.
You
I
know?
mean, how do you usually deal with like let's say, are you somebody that gets mad when you're sad or when you get hurt or some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Because like I know a lot of people, sometimes you don't know how to deal with being sad, so it's kind of like you want to
be anger.
Yeah.
No,
Looking for something to blame, or you want to get mad at someone else.
I know how to be sad. I am quite good at being sad, actually, which is why I'm so content with not being that.
Yeah.
Because I've dealt with depression majority of my life. So I know that like empty feeling or that wanting to melt into the couch or I'm so mad at everybody. And that is not where I'm at now. When I get angry though, because I've matured and also probably because this has put a lot of things in perspective, I'm just like, I'm giving myself 90 seconds. It's like I can be pissed off. And if I'm mad and somebody's around me, it's my job to walk away. Like, it's my job to say, look, I'm about to be upset or you're pissing me off. I'm going to go, then I'm going to come back. Because before it used to really make me frustrated, and there's nothing worse than wanting to physically assault somebody and you can't. Because you can't. You're a damn adult. It doesn't matter how angry you get. You can't hit shit that don't hit you back, by the way. That's one thing Dad taught me. Hitting inanimate objects is stupid because you're the only one that's going to get hurt.
True.
And then if you hit somebody, that does way more damage than just the physical satisfaction of hitting someone. So there's a lot of repercussions to that. So I process, and then I've also learned that the gym is my safe place. And
that's a good safe place.
The gym is my safe place, right? I'm just like, don't talk to me, leave me alone, and then I'm fine.
Yeah. I probably drown myself in ramen and
cry when Pikachu comes out.
And the strip club, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
Titties, noodles and titties.
I was gonna say, you know, and I told you this already, like, you know, your dad and all his wisdom, he also, you know, from all the stories you've shared, left me with something that I was like, that's fire. I'm gonna share that with my kids, you know. The whole thing about when he would tell his daughters that, you know, like, yeah, live your life, do what you do, but also you can't control what society is always gonna think and say, especially when it comes to the double standard of males and females. And that is something for me that I was like, yes. Even, you know, in the world where I feel like I'm a very open-minded, progressive dude. And like, you know, like last thing I would ever want is for Veda to, you know, not live her best life and, you know, be 100% her.
Mhm.
But also, you know, the world is still stupid. Motherfuckers are still gonna think what they think, and to navigate it, you have to be aware of that. And I think your dad dropped a crazy gem with that, you know?
You know, Dad's parenting methods definitely are questionable. And the amount of information that he decided to share with me was a lot. But, you know, another thing too.
Necessary.
But it was necessary because you really... I've not done anything in my life that I didn't know why I did it. Like, I'm very self-aware and I'm understanding of consequences because Dad put me up on game very early. Like, a lot of the decisions I've made, there's no one else to blame but me. And I'm aware of that. But, you know, one of the other things that he had said is like, it's all fun and games until you get caught. Then it's real. You can do whatever you want until you get caught. Then you have to decide who you're going to be because now the truth is out. And so when you're moving about this life and you make decisions, if you're okay with getting caught and owning it, then do whatever you want. But if you are worried about what's going to happen when you do, then don't do it.
Yeah. And I honestly think that's something everybody should teach their kids. Because you got a lot of people who do shit they know they shouldn't be doing. And they feel like they're not going to get caught. But then they get caught and they can't handle it.
Right.
I shouldn't have to deal with these consequences. Nah, you knew what you were doing, but nobody taught them that part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
People don't talk about consequences enough.
Yeah.
They don't. And that's why you turn into an adult and you're like, whoa, what do you mean I can't do this?
Yeah.
So wait a minute, I did exactly the opposite of the paper that I signed that I said I was going to do, and you going to punish me for it?
I mean, look, even beyond that, on some adult consequence shit, like, wait, I don't pay this little $5 Macy's bill for a couple months and my credit's fucked up forever?
Yeah.
Forever.
Shit like that. Yeah.
Like shit like that.
what?
No one tells you that type of shit growing up. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
fucking consequence. You have to be aware. Like you said, you can technically do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But you gotta be prepared for any outcome.
What? When I tell you the days that I decided to defy whatever my dad told me to do, I was ready. I was like, it was worth it. It's gonna hurt, but it was worth it. And I'm just gonna take whatever punishment I get. And what has been hilarious throughout this process is a lot of my friends that are in my life now were in my life when I was younger. So they were part of we gotta get Nikki out the house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're laughing about certain things that have happened, or like when my dad used to check my bag. I've talked about this before. Before I left the house, like what was in my duffel bag to make sure I didn't have no hoe clothes. And I remember that we had one of my girls, she had the other bag. So we had the bag that we let dad go through, but she really had the actual bag at the house.
Just like on TV, man.
What? But I will say this. The one thing I did wish that he would have done earlier in life, because later on in life, me and my dad talk about everything. Like, everything. I wish he would have just been a little bit more open, because I wouldn't have lied so much. Like, he taught me how to lie.
Yeah.
Like,
open-minded.
I just needed a little bit more space. I needed just a little bit more. Not saying don't let me do whatever I want, because I think they knew. Dad was like, you look like you don't make good choices
You're
in
not
life.
going nowhere.
Yeah.
I always think about that because I went to a Catholic school for a year and I seen how the girls was acting over there, and
just a little bit. I'm not saying too much, and it made me who I am today. But I'm also very happy that one of my favorite things to do as an adult was to get lit and FaceTime my dad. It was my favorite thing to do.
Great.
I love doing it.
I thought she was about to say lie. It's like, damn.
No.
My favorite thing to do as a dog, lie.
You know what? The best part was not having to lie to him and be like, you can't do shit about it.
And that's what I want, man. And, you know, when and it's shit like that I always try to pay attention to in terms of like father-daughter relationships, you know, and like what I'll tell Beta all the time, even though she don't be listening now, like at this juncture of her life, or maybe she is, like, hey, look, baby girl, I want you to tell me anything. I want you to be able to tell me anything and everything. And I don't ever want a relationship where I feel like my kids can't tell me what's going on or how they feel, you know?
Yeah.
I'll say that will always exist as long as you don't react like, say she does tell you something that is going to make you go, shit. Because you have the option to really break that trust, right? That she's never going to tell you anything again.
Yeah.
But those lines of communication, early on, I mean, I didn't have that, so I wouldn't even know what that experience would be because I felt like that would be a setup. That sounds like how you get your ass whooped. You can tell me. You can.
See, it's a part that we leave out when we do that. You can tell me anything shit. I might get really fucking mad at what you tell me, but we gonna be okay.
Yeah.
As long as you tell me, we can get through it.
True.
I'm still probably gonna be really fucking mad.
Really bad.
When you tell me. So just so they know, because that when you say you can tell me anything, it feels like, okay, I'm not gonna get in trouble for this.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you tell him anything, and he gets mad. It's like, you said I can tell you anything.
I'm not a quick to anger ass dude. I think she'll learn that. Mom is a different story. We'll see what happens with that. You know, even now, it's funny because, you know, Veda and Q, they're really beginning to play together a lot now. And whenever they're playing together and we turn away and he starts crying or some shit, we assume she either snatched something away or did something, right? But like sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes Q's just a baby and he's crying. So like, and there have been times where he'll make a little meh, and I just want to know what's going on. I'd be like, what happened? And bitch, I did it. He took the whole, I wasn't even, I'm like, baby girl, I'm not mad. I just tell me. She'll turn around immediately, no, I wasn't trying to, he took it to,
his head is split open bleeding, and she's like, no, it's okay.
It wasn't even me. He ran into my fist.
You know, so I'm like, even now, I just want her to know, hey man, look, it's okay. I'm not blaming you. Just tell me.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all right, man.
And I think that's really important. Really important for daughters and their fathers. That helps. But I am fortunate to have had that as an adult. And I think that's what was always dope about my relationship with my dad, is that he was excited for my random shit that I was doing. I'm literally outside just being reckless sometimes. And he's just like, that's what you're supposed to do. He's like, go and do that while you don't have kids and you're not married. He's like, because once you do that shit, you can't act out.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, where are you going? What you doing? Can I come? Tell them to send me something. Also, feed me.
Man, it's gonna suck when Veda's like, I don't know, teenager, college, as she runs back an episode of the podcast, and she's like, Daddy. Well, I don't know why I'm giving a three-year-old voice. She's like, Dad, you said on episode 168 of No Chaser that the host stage is very important. I'm like, important for 30-year-olds, girl. You're not asking the right questions.
So you didn't see the part where I said safely? Safely.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I think he was a wise dude with lots of knowledge.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think, and that's obvious in how much you spoke highly of him. And I think just in the fact that everybody, you know, it wasn't even like we shared a lot of stories that you shared, but even, you know, from your post, it was so many people that were like, yo, it was obvious they were close just from the handful of stories.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I told you, you know, I feel like just from your stories, I feel like I knew him to an extent.
Yeah.
You know, we always spoke highly of the Hawaiian hoe, wanted to bring him on. You know what I'm saying?
But also, I was like, no. I think my mom put a veto to that. She said, your father's going to embarrass us. I said,
Listen,
you are probably right.
After a certain age, you can't get canceled.
Dad did not care.
And that's fine. After you got a certain amount of grades, can't nobody say shit to you.
But yeah, thank you guys for allowing me to even share his stories. I'm so fortunate to be able to do that. And I'm glad that I'm not one of those people sharing his stories when he didn't get to hear me say them. And being a proud daughter while he was here versus while he was gone. So
Definitely.
if I could tell anybody, the biggest takeaway is like, do tell the people that you care about how you feel. And sometimes it is as simple as just randomly telling someone like, I love you, or thinking of you. It's the smallest things. And sometimes it's not even for them, it's for you. And if you're doing everything you can to be the best version of yourself and to give love to other people, then no matter what happens in life, you will have a bit more peace.
For sure. Yeah. My dad always told me, he's like, when I die, don't bring flowers to my funeral. Tell me you love me now.
Oh, my dad said, bring money.
Hey, look.
So what you gonna do with that?
Trust me. Look, I know this is whatever, but I was like, hey, you better be working overtime up there. Okay? I made deposits while you were here. I'm gonna need you and my dog to work overtime. And I am willing and ready to accept what you have to bless me with, Dad.
Well, hey, man. Hey, one more time. Shout out to Nikki's dad. You know what I'm saying? And Nikki Blades, I'm glad you're handling everything so gracefully.
Thanks.
And I love that you can still be here with us.
Absolutely.
Kicking it for another episode. And thank y'all for watching and supporting. And as always, thank you for watching. We love you. Like, share, subscribe, all that bullshit. And I'm Tim Chantarangsu.
I'm Ricky Shucks.
I'm Nikki Blades.
Bye.